Hi everyone, it's Jeff Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today for the Creating Kindness Design Team blog and video hub with the theme of CAS cards. So today I'll be sharing how to create a clean and simple card with snowflakes. I'll be using the So Many Snowflakes dies and mixing that with sentiment and stamp from Peaceful Dear stamp set from the new mini catalog. I'll be using Balmy Blue ink pad and Versamark to white emboss the sentiment, as well as adding Gilded Leafing on foam adhesive sheets. So we'll start off with a normal card base, basic quite thick, fold it in half and just burnish the fold, and a layer of basic white, just normal one. And this one measures 5 millimeters less on the side and 1 centimeter less on the bottom, or that is 3/16 of an inch less on the side and 3/8 of an inch less on the bottom. So we will cut that off and have a layer that's slightly lifted up to have a bit of interest. And to do that, you'll just use your trimmer. So this one is already less than the width of the card base. So we'll just mark this at 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch along the bottom. And using the channel there, align the mark and the edge of the card on the top right. And we'll just cut that through. And once that's cut, just turn it anti-clockwise 90 degrees. And because that's already got a straight edge, just align the top edge onto that groove or channel and cut your bottom edge. So that will be like that on the card base. So when we bring our card base, we'll have the layer close on the top, and that is at a slight angle, and we'll lift that up as well later on. So next I've got adhesive sheet. I've just cut that to size for this die, which is from the So Many Snowflakes set, and we're going to cover this in Gilded Leafing. So for this, just have a piece of paper just to have all of the Gilded Leafing, and peel off the top layer and add your Gilded Leafing. So you can just place as much as you have on there and either spread that out with your fingers, or you can also use the blending brushes. So you do want that all covered. And pretty smooth on there. So if you do have bigger pieces, it is easier to cover it quicker. And once that is done, just get a blending brush and just take off the edges along the edges, and you can also smooth out any loose bits that's on the surface. Okay, and any of the excess you can put back in the pot. I will now die cut this using the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and that should go through nicely on there. Just bring out your cutting machine and run that through as normal. Just make sure that it is going to fit in. and run that through. In my first sample, I did color the adhesive sheet with the blends before I die cut it, but it did stain my die, so I'm doing it a different way this time to see if it'll work any better. So next I'm going to stamp and white emboss the sentiment. So I've chosen this time round is the best time of the year. You will need to prepare your basic black cardstock and stamp in Versamark. So I'll do it this way around, and I'll use the edge to keep it straight. There we go, and we're just gonna sprinkle the white Stampin' Emboss powder, and then set that with the heat tool. We're independent Stampin' Up demonstrators based in the UK, so if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up products from our online shop. Do use the current host code, which can be found on our website at mitosocrafts.com, to receive a handmade card from us the following month, or any extra gifts if your order qualifies. So we'll add a bit of stamping on the layer as well, so just make sure it's the right way up. And this time I've used the snowflake design, and I'm gonna stamp in balmy blue. I'll just double check how strong that is, because I just want a hint of that, and I'll do that more towards the top and around where I'm gonna have my cluster of snowflakes. There we go. So just randomly stamp. So we will cut our sentiment, and I'm just eyeballing that, leaving enough space for the top. And you might need to wipe the surface because it has been prepared with the stamp and the embossing body, so it might just have some residue on there. And we'll build up our card. So this one is going to go right on the top edge and the left edge, and we're going to add some dimensionals along the bottom. Okay, so let's do that now. Just a couple should be enough, but you can add another one in the center. Take those off, and then add glue to the top layer. Now if you find that you're sticking it too quick and the dimensionals are sticking to the card base really quickly, you can always add a dash of glue onto there, so then it gives it a bit of a wiggle room as well. So tilting it upwards, placing that along the edge, so it does give it height along the bottom. I've also got the Wonderful Snowflakes. So these are iridescent snowflakes, sheets of 6 in there, and there's 24 per pack, and they're really shiny. You could also color the back side of it if you prefer, so you can have different types or different colored snowflakes. So I'm just going to add that on with mini glue dot. or you can just add tiny dots of glue at the back, but this is the quickest way that you can add it. And I am using the side of the card and placing that on there. Just so it's square. You could also use the angled side if you prefer, but I quite like it like that. So once that's done, we do have this and the sentiment to go, and we are going to do that. So to take this off, it's actually easier. Try and keep it in the die to keep the shape of your snowflake. So just pry that out, up even, if you can. And then once that is lifted, it actually lifts the backing as well. So you do need to just be careful taking those off because it is delicate and intricate design. Once you've peeled it off, you can use your take your pick tool for the middle bit. So you can either lift it off, pick it up, or lift it off as well, or you can poke it through, poke it down. So if you just press it down, it picks it up or it pushes it through the other side. So now that is done, I have moved slightly some of these fractals, I think it's called. I can't remember. But just replace that, and then when you place it on your card front, I'm just aligning those up with the snowflake die cut on there already. So press it down. It's easier to just press it down and slightly bend your card so it opens it up. And any other extra gilded leafing you can just try and take off as well. So now you can leave it like that, or you can add more sentiment, more interest on there using Stampin' Blends. So on my original, I did use the Night of Navy. I'm gonna use Bermuda Bay this time, just to see the difference. So really just add color onto there. If you find that the light doesn't give you enough interest, enough color, go in and use your dark. So this does slightly dull the shine from the Gilded Leafing, but I quite like the color that it gives on top of the gold. So again, you don't have to color every single bit, but maybe add in different areas, in random areas, a lot more color than in some, just so it's not the same all around. So the Bermuda Bay does look a lot more green, but you can see that there is a hint of color there. So finally, we're gonna add our sentiment there. I will just cut the edge as well, just to trim that down closer. And that one, I'm just gonna add onto there, adding dimensional on the left edge. And then you can add glue to the right just to help and support that side on top of the snowflake. And to finish it up, we do have another embellishment, which is the subtle shimmer sequence. And I'm just gonna add a few of those. So I do find it's easier to just pick them off once you've chosen which ones you want. And then add glue to where you're gonna have it. Place it on with your take your pick tool. And the final one I will just add at the bottom here, just like the original. And there we go. Here is my CAS card with snowflakes for the Creating Kindness Design Team blog and video hub. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, as well as consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't done so. Check out the description below for the product links, as well as the link to the next video in the hub. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, bye!